I want to talk to you a little bit more about orgasm.
Licensed sex therapist Dr. Ruth Westheimer rose to fame with her no-holds-barred discussions on taboo topics.
Men need to be touched at a certain area.
Her non-judgmental and trusting tone led to a hit radio show.
Sexually speaking, you're on the air.
Multiple talk shows.
So I do believe that a sex life has to be nourished like a fire.
Dozens of books.
Hot off the press, roller coaster grammar.
Even a board game. But Dr. Ruth's passion for love stems from her painful past. The new Hulu documentary Ask Dr. Ruth provides rare access to her personal life.
I call myself an orphan of the Holocaust.
Dr. Ruth grew up Jewish in Nazi Germany. Her parents made the ultimate sacrifice, sending her to safety in Switzerland while they stayed behind.
My mother, there is no date of death. She was murdered someplace, but nobody has nobody knows where. Nothing. My father, I now know, was killed in Auschwitz.
After World War II, Dr. Ruth served as a sniper for the Jewish Underground Army. She was almost killed when a bomb hit her barracks.
I was wounded in Jerusalem and I could have lost both my legs. If I would talk to that girl now, I would say, despite the fact that you lived through some tragic events, look what has happened to you in your life.
A most colorful life that continues to get better with age.
From my background, all of the things that I've survived, I have an obligation to live large and make a dent in this world.
And what a dent she has made. Dr. Ruth Westheimer here with us in the studio this morning. So good to see you, so good.
Don't be jealous that I'm holding you. Because I know him for 100 years.
Okay, all right, then I'll let it slide. But I was getting a little jealous. So here's the thing, Dr. Ruth, why now? What made you decide to share so much of your life at this particular point in your life?
Very good question. When Rafi Marmor, the producer, called me, I said, no, thank you. I have already talked enough, and I'm still teaching at Columbia University and at Hunter enough. Then he sent me a movie he made. The movie was called No Place on Earth. And that hit me by saying, that really is my story. Because when I left Germany, in those years, there was no place for Jews to go. So I said, let me look at the film. I said, yes. He said he wants to work with Ryan White. Ryan owes me maybe 10 hours of my life because I sat and watched all of his movies. I watched the movie about the gay rights. I watched the movie about the secretary to the Beatles. I watched his 7 episodes of The Keepers.
Watched them all.
And I thought, let me meet that guy. I met the guy, tall, handsome, not interested in women, doesn't matter. So I said, okay. Then I did decide that if I do it, I want to use it as a grave for my parents and for my background. I'm a member of the Museum of Jewish Heritage. We have a brand new exhibit called Auschwitz. That's where my parents were killed. My mother, I don't know, because she disappeared. They didn't have where. And the Auschwitz exhibit, I want all 4 of you to come with me there.
Got it.
It's called Auschwitz, Not Far Away, Not Long Ago. Not long ago, not far away. So I have an obligation to tell those people the Holocaust never happened, that it did happen. And I also have an obligation for those people who have Holocaust fatigue, who say it's like the Civil War, it's a long time ago, to stand up and say, we have to learn. And in today's world, as all of you know and you have reported, particularly important. So that's when I decided, if I do it, now I have to tell you a secret, all 4.
We all lean in.
I could do another documentary about the things that I didn't give them.
Wow.
But I did talk about my 3 marriages, and you watched the movie, thank you.
Yes.
And let me show the book. There is a book for children, Roller Coaster Grammar. It shows how my father was taken by the Nazis.
10? You were 10.
Well, let me ask you, given what happened this weekend, that shooting in San Diego at the synagogue, 6 months to the day of the one in Pittsburgh, as a Holocaust survivor, as somebody who's lost people in the Holocaust, what do you say to these people? How do you feel about where we are in this country right now with something like this?
If you would have told me many years ago that this would happen in this great country of America, where what happened to me could have only happened in this country and only in New York, because people in New York accept accents of all kinds, I would not have believed you. I would have said, you must be kidding. That's another reason that I'm particularly here. I'm going to be 91. I'm particularly happy that all 4 of you watched the documentary, and that we have to say we have to stand up to be counted, that we have to stop these horrible, horrible events. I was yesterday at Temple Emmanuel for the Day of Remembrance for the Holocaust. There were 2,000 people. So people have to stand up to be counted for that. Very, very sad.
Dr. Ruth, we don't do this a lot, but we want you to stick around and come back, because we want to talk to you a little bit more about this documentary, and we also want to talk about sex as well.
I like that. I like that.
All right.
Another question.
Back here with Dr. Ruth Westheimer, whose amazing life story is the subject of the new documentary, Ask Dr. Ruth.
So there's a whole other part of this, which is why we wanted you to come back after the commercial break. And that is because I'm modest, so for me to even say sex is a big thing.
Let's say it one more time.
No, don't, Doctor.
Say
No,
all 4 of you.
Okay, fine.
1, 2, 3.
Sex.
Nice.
Has anybody ever asked you anything that made you squirm or surprised you?
Yes.
Yes.
For example, if somebody asks anything about sex with animals, I say I'm not a veterinarian. Period. Next question.
Okay. Dylan, your turn.
What is it about your approach to the topic that makes people feel so comfortable to ask you any kind of questions?
I tell you why. I'm very well trained. I not only have a doctorate in the study of the family from Columbia University's Teachers College, I studied with Dr. Helen Singer Kaplan at Cornell. I was with her for 7 years, 2 years being trained, 5 more years to train others. So I have had the academic background, but I also have what is called in Hebrew chutzpah, which means nerve, to stand up and to say, you have to talk explicitly. And so I was fortunate. The accent helped. When people opened the radio, which I did at NBC, WYNY,
That's right.
10 years every Sunday night, people came home from the Hamptons. They were in their cars. Look at his smile. They were in their cars, and guess what? By the time they were home, they were nicely sexually aroused. And when they tell me that that has happened to them, even if they blush,
If I could, I would be.
Oh, you are.
if that happened to them, I say, wonderful, I helped you to have a good sex life. Now give me some money for the Museum of Jewish Heritage, or for the Y, or for Tryon Park, for all of those places that I'm on the board. In the Jewish tradition, sex has never been a sin. It always has been an obligation of a husband with a wife on Friday night, particularly on Friday night, because there's nothing else you can do, and because they wanted to have children.
Sure.
So, and also in Hebrew, the word for sex is ladat, which means to know each other. That has helped me a great deal, because I don't believe that it's only the sexual act. I believe you really have to have a relationship. You really have to know each other, and you have to cultivate that relationship. So the combination of my being an older woman already, in my 40s, the accent, when people opened the radio, they knew it was me. And my willingness to speak very openly and to use the terminology that I don't want to use on your morning show. But at night, it worked very well. And I actually can use it even on a morning show. So the combination worked. And also people, I'm interested in what people do. And now I'll tell you what I'm worried about for young people. The new book that's coming out, Sex for Dummies, with new chapters for the millennials. I'm very worried about young people not taking time for sex. about the art of conversation being lost, because all they do.
Swiping.
Right.
Doctor, I wish we had more time. But
me too.
I want
I want more.
I want you to come back.
Please.
I'll come back.
And I would
want you
like
to
to
come
tour
back.
the museum with you. We've never been. I
I
want to
will
come
go
with you.
with 1,
Dr.
2,
Ruth
3, 4.
West
Yes.
Hollywood.
Okay.
By the way, Ask Dr. Ruth. It's in theaters this Friday. It's on Hulu June 1st. Already some Oscar buzz for it. We'll be right back.